Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Nabhuto, and I'm back with another banger, man. And today we're gonna be talking about the top 5 Mexican-American dual nationals in football. But before we get in the video, I just want to let you guys know that around 77% of you guys who are watching my videos are not subscribed to this channel. So please feel free to subscribe. It's completely free, and you can unsubscribe later in the future if you don't like my future content. Also, leave a like. Let's try reaching 75 likes for this video, and follow all my socials: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all at Nabhuto. Pretty simple, man. All right, now let's get into today's topic: the top 5 Mexican-American dual nationals that the U.S. or Mexico could choose. Now, if you guys aren't aware of geography and everything, you know what I'm saying, Mexico is right under the US. So obviously the countries are going to intertwine a little bit. So obviously, since we're so geographically close to each other, there's going to be a lot of Mexicans in the United States. And hence we have Mexican Americans. So now let's talk about the top 5 Mexican Americans who are playing professionally, who haven't made a decision on which country to commit to play their senior national team football. Number 5, we got Mauricio Cuevas. This guy recently joined Club Brugge in Belgium, and he had 4 goals and 4 assists in 20 games for LA Galaxy 2. So if you guys don't know who he is, which a lot of you probably don't know who he is because he's a little bit under the radar, he's a right back and can also play left back. He's a modern fullback. He's very technical and he's very good at free kicks. He kind of reminds me of Trent Alexander-Arnold. He still hasn't made a decision on which country to represent in the future if he gets the opportunity to, but he has played for the United States youth teams. He's played for the USMNTs and he's had 3 appearances with them. But he's a very young guy, and by the 2026 World Cup, he will only be 23 years old. So he's probably someone both countries are taking a good look at. So if Cuevas chooses to represent the US, he will have to fight off players like Serginho Dest, Joe Scally, and even Brian Reynolds. So in my opinion, what country do I think he'll choose in the future if he develops into his potential? I think he'll probably choose Mexico because the US is already too stacked on right backs. I think there's easier competition with Mexico in the right back position, and he'll definitely get more opportunities there probably. So that's why I think he'll eventually go to Mexico, but who knows. Number 4, we got Antonio Leone. I think that's how you pronounce his name anyways. He's a product of the LAFC Academy and is a center back. He's 17 years old and he started 23 games at Las Vegas Lights in the USL. He's a physical and a very dominant CB who can also play out of the back because he's technical with his feet. And the thing about him is he represented both US and Mexico in youth camps. So initially he started representing the US in the youth camps. However, once COVID hit and the US stopped having youth camps for a bit, he started switching over to Mexico. And Mexico kept calling him up to a lot of youth camps and he kept going to them. And eventually in the U20 Revelations Cup, he chose to play for Mexico over the US for that tournament, and he captained Mexico as well. However, I feel like Antonio Leone is keeping an open mind and he's not going to make a decision yet. This is because almost a year ago in an interview when he was 16 years old, he said he wants to be the best American defender ever. He didn't say best Mexican defender, he said best American defender. I think he's going to be smart with his career choices. I think he's going to see both camps. He's going to play for US and Mexico youth camps and then see which national team shows more love to him. And whichever one shows him more love and more opportunities, I feel like he's going to choose that national team. Number 3, we probably got the most well-known player on this list, Richy Ledezma. He's a technical, creative midfielder for PSV Eindhoven and he's a magician on the ball. However, it's super sad because last year once he was breaking out for the PSV Eindhoven main team, he ruptured his ACL and was out for about a year. However, he just came back from his ruptured ACL injury and he seems to be playing again, so that's good news. Now, in terms of whether to choose US or Mexico, he has been repping US for a long time. He's been repping the US since the U20 level and even played the U20 World Cup for them. And he also played for the US men's national team senior team before he ruptured his ACL. In his debut, he got 2 assists off the bench. What a baller. And although he said he's open to either play for Mexico or the United States, he did say in an interview very recently that the US has been very kind to him. So what do I think he'll choose? I think he'll play a key role in the US for the future, and I think he'll definitely choose the United States. Number 2, we got Santiago Muñoz. He was born in El Paso, Texas, the same town where Ricardo Pepi was born as well. And Ricardo Pepi reps the US while Santiago Muñoz has been repping Mexico for a very long time. And most Mexican Americans that are being talked about, they have Mexican ethnicity, but they are raised in the United States. Santiago Muñoz is kind of not in the same package as those guys. This is because although he was born in Texas, he was essentially raised in Mexico. He's also played for a Liga MX team, Santos Laguna, and had 3 goals and 3 assists in 19 games last season. However, he moved to Newcastle very recently, so he's in the Premier League now. But he's never repped the US ever. He's only been repping Mexico. He played for Mexico in the Olympic qualifiers and the U17 World Cup in 2019, scoring 1 goal. And in the U17 World Cup, they actually made it all the way to the final but lost to Brazil. And yes, although he was raised in Liga MX and raised in Mexico and he has played for the Mexican youth camps, he did say he's leaving the doors open for the US. He indicated in an interview with Football Americas with Hercules Gomez saying he's not married to Mexico. He's also said that the US program has spoken to him and he's intrigued by the program. However, in my opinion, I think it's extremely unlikely that he'll choose US over Mexico. I think this is a PR move trying to force Mexico's hand in continuing to select him. He was raised in Mexico's system and he's too deep into the Mexican football system to ever switch up now. But yeah, not a lot of Americans talk about Santiago Muñoz anymore because they all already gave up that he will not choose US, but he is a Mexican-American dual national that hasn't made a final decision yet, and that's why I'm talking about him. Now, number 1 is one of the most obvious spots on the list. It has has to go to Jonathan Gomez. If you don't know, he's a very high potential left back, and he's good technically and defensively and can do well going forward. He played for Louisville City in the USL and played 48 games, scoring 2 and assisting 12. And he recently just moved to Real Sociedad and is training with them. Now, just like Antonio Leon, Jonathan Gomez has played for both youth camps of the US and Mexico. In December, he accepted a USMNT senior call-up in a friendly against Bosnia, and in there, he made his debut for the United States men's national team. He also said in many interviews that he's not going to make a final decision on which country to represent after he's had a taste of playing for both teams. And I mean, now he has, because he just came back to the US picture and he played for the senior national team, so maybe he might make the decision soon. So what do I think? What do I think Jonathan Gomez will do? I personally think that he will choose the United States over Mexico. I think it's because he sees a lot of opportunity with the US, and honestly, he can make that 23-man roster for Qatar. I'm pretty sure Gregg has already spoken to him about him pushing for that #1 left back spot against Tony Robinson. But other than Tony Robinson, I think he can easily phase out the other left backs in the pool. I think he's better than Sam Vines. I don't think Sam Vines is all that. He's decent, but he's not like super good. I think George Billo has been the same player for 2 years, and he doesn't seem like he's improving. And in all the US games he's played in, he hasn't been that impressive. So I easily think Jonathan Gomez can be this backup left back, if not the full-time left back. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please let me know in the comments what you think about my top 5 list for Mexican Americans that haven't made a decision yet on which team to represent. Let me know if you disagree with any of my points. I would love to read your comments and see what you guys say. So yeah, honestly, that's all I really had to say. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Remember to subscribe, hit the like. Let's try reaching 75 likes. And what else did I say? Oh yeah, follow my socials, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all at Nabhuto. So yeah, that's all I really want to say. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace!